Hey plastic model builders, welcome back. This is the part 1 episode of our A-18F Super Hornet. What you're looking at here is the box break episode. We did that 2 weeks ago. Go back and watch it. That way you could get all kind of caught up and see what the deal is. So let's get started. As you know, I always wash my parts. So warm, mild, soapy water. Just take all of our parts trees, throw them in. There's like a zillion of these parts trees. You see me, just bombs, missiles, canopies, fuselage, all that good stuff, right? All right, so wash them, rinse them, clean them, get them oil free. Let's start with the cockpit. We're going to do a bunch of painting. I use Testor's paints, usually enamels. Occasionally I'll use some acrylics. If I want to get stuff to dry rather quickly, I'll just paint them on. So right here you see cutting out seats, cutting out the back portion of the cockpits and the cockpit itself. Control sticks right here. All sorts of fun parts. There are 2 of these things. This is the back bulkhead of the canopy. Right here, got more stuff that goes in the middle. Ejection handles, 2 of those because this is a 2-seater plane. So guess what? You get to do 2 of everything. Model making madness. We are going to make it look pretty. Anyway, here's another seat. More instrument panels, more seats. As you can tell, 2 of everything. So there is the second ejection handle. We're going to do our wheels, since you know we're going to be painting stuff black. May as well get the stuff that's going to be painted black out of the way. So we're cutting out these wheels. We're going to glue those together also. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And I'm going to show you everything. Not really. But anyway, so here's one of the seats. See how that kind of fits together like that? Decent fit. Flip it over. I'm going to put a little glue right here. Notice I switched some glues. So good stuff. Get a little bit of glue right there on the edges. Going to take it, put our seat in there. Just get some on the back, a little bit on the rear, right there, and a little on this side, and it will stick perfectly. So here we go, put that together. That is the chair right there. Going to put on the other side. Why not, right? We're doing one side. You want to do 2 sides of a chair, make it look complete. Makes sense to me. Might be good to actually put in the ejection handle ahead of time. I didn't do that, so it made it a little bit more difficult, but really, I mean, it's whatever you want to do. It's a small little piece. Testing the fit here, I did that many times just to make sure it would fit and seat properly. You want to make sure that's good, because what use is it if it won't work? So here's that ejection handle, small part, highlighted it for you. I know you get the idea. Anyway, that's in there. And this is the back seat. See how that fits. Keep in mind, I'm not gluing down any of these seats yet. Again, it's just test fitting, seeing how it looks. We're going to put in our control sticks and all that good stuff. We got 2 that go here in the back of the cockpit. This is the rear. It's a 2-seat plane. F-18AF Hornet. F-A-18F. I'm so bad with that. One of these days I will get it. Anyway, here's the front joystick. Putting that in, there's also a throttle, I believe that goes on the side. We'll put that in a little bit later. You don't want to put in everything. We're going to let some of that stuff dry, of course. These are the rear landing wheels. We're going to put those together, as well as the front landing gear. And once we get that together, of course, the plane will be ready to fly. You know, not really, of course, just a model. So just go around that landing gear right there. Let that bond. I'm going to cut out some more parts for the cockpit. This goes on top in the middle section. There we go. Small little piece. Holds on nicely. And then we will place this in the center. And I will show you that coming up. So painting all this black. You know, sometimes I paint the chairs in separate sections. This time I put everything together. Made it all black just to get it out of the way. May as well. And it's a nice base color as well. Here's the instrument panel in the rear. Going to paint that all black. We'll go back later. I'm going to put on some decals on this because it came with decals. So, you know, I like to use these models for the viewer as is of what you're getting, what's in the box. Eventually, we'll graduate to putting third-party stuff in. Make it look more realistic, because I know you guys want to see me do that eventually. When? I don't know. So anyway, ignore my crappy paintbrush, because I know it's not the best. And we are going to paint the control sticks right here. Remember, 2 in the rear. You got that 1 right there in the front. I wasn't too concerned with the paint job on this because you know, I could say now it's an older kind of plane, and we're basically just going to put this in, and once it's in the cockpit, you're gonna have trouble seeing most of this stuff anyway. It'll dry nicely, just gives it a little old type of texture to it. Here's that rear wheel, gonna paint that black. There's all sorts of ways you could do it. I still like using the old brush instead of the airbrush and putting a little circle around it. You know, it's always good to try different methods, whatever you like. Sorry for the shaking, try different positions for the camera. I've learned something new during this video. Don't put the camera directly overhead, no matter how good it looks like this. Why? Because it shakes all the time. My head gets in the way, and all you see is the little hairs on top of my bald head. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see the model. So here's that rear wheel, getting that all put together. This is the top of it, because you could see all the insides of those little holes there where the wheel nuts go. And here is the one of the front wheels. Just gonna coat that in a nice coat of black all around on one side, then we'll flip it over once it dries. Painting a little bit of gray here. The whole instrument panel goes a nice gray color. Should have done it a little bit faster, but it is what it is. It looks good in the long run, and that's all that matters, is the final product. So I'm kind of going around. You see my head in the way, like I said. I did my best, but my best just wasn't good enough. Just getting the spots where I know there won't be a seat makes it a little easier. So as I said, not too concerned with the paint job, as these instrument panels are very hard to see inside of the plane, but the end result, they look absolutely fabulous, and you will see that in like 8 weeks, whatever, something, I don't know. By the time we get around to showing you that video, it's going to be a long time from now. So make sure you watch all the videos, the playlist, watch my other playlists, have some good stuff. You know, I have some other fun channels like building an R2-D2. If you ever want to see those channels, you know what to do. Find them, click a link. It's called Build an R2-D2 by Ari, because that's what I do. I build R2-D2. So fun stuff. Anywho, this is still the back instrument cluster panel. Just painting a little bit of gray here, and we will put on a decal in a little bit. We will show you how to do that. I wanted to make sure when I did that it fit really nicely in there. So this is the chair, painting the seat belts, going all the way around. They look a little sloppy. That's okay. Finished product. Just remember that. The finished product is what counts. So getting all these, we're having fun with this model. That is the goal. Painting the seat a wonderful olive drab color, because why would we paint it anything else? Every seat goes olive drab. It gives us something to do, right? Maybe one day they'll switch to yellow. I don't know. So get the headrests. Make sure you do that. Make it look pretty. Model making madness. So going along the edges here, the seat is turning out rather nicely. I liked how I wanted the paint to dry a little bit, and then I kind of bumped it with the paintbrush to make it, I guess you could say, kind of look like fabric. Use a small brush, doing my little yellow bit right there. Now here are the decals. I'm going to cut these out, and then we are going to actually trim very close to the edges to get rid of that excess, because I wanted this decal to conform really closely to the model, and if it has excess on there, you're still going to have trouble getting it where you need it to sit. It's a little test, kind of seeing how it'll go before I want to put it on, what else needs to be trimmed away. Got a little bit of micro set and some water on there. Here we go. Apply that decal, and we'll put some micro sol. That way it soaks into that, and it looks really pretty when it's done. Just dab it a little bit. Maybe one day I'll give you a tutorial on how to little small decals on. Not that you don't know, but I know you like to watch this stuff, because maybe I've got a better idea than you, or maybe you've got a better idea than me. By the way, I just pierced a hole in that. Oh well, you can't notice. That's how good I am. Just kidding, I'm not that great. So here's that little throttle control. Cut that out. Be careful, you don't do all of it. You want to make sure, I think you leave that little button on the side there. Put a little glue in the back. Put a little glue on the knob, and just put it in. There you go. I got lazy. I I used a Sharpie on this. I don't remember if I ever went back and painted it, but we'll find out later on because I haven't gotten that far in my video making process yet. But the Sharpies seem to work out quite nicely for now. We'll find out if that color changed a little bit down the road because eventually they turn to a lighter shade of purple. As you know, black Sharpies tend to do that. So here, I was too lazy to break out the paint and clean it. Basically, that's all that amounts to. And here it is. We're getting this taken care of. The throttle is painted. Don't do this. Wasn't a good idea. Although it worked out. See, I got a little bit of black there on the wrong spots. Sharpening in knobs and dials. Never done that before. Probably never doing it again. Alright. Gluing in the chairs. Finally, the cockpit ejection seats. They fit perfectly. No glue to worry about to stick to any paint, so it'll get a nice bond. And there's the rear cockpit seat. There we go. Just make it look good. Put our little glue there for some fun parts coming up. We'll show you right here. Instrument control panel placed right in the plane, front and back. Get it good, put it in. Make sure you put the tops on these and they will join perfectly. That will fit up with the front end of the plane once you get that front fuselage nose area built as well. So here, put this in. We're gonna have to paint that. There we go. Got it settled in. This is the cockpit so far. As you can see why I wasn't worried about detail. It still looks good. And here I am painting a small little red button. Talk about wanting to get detail and then one day not wanting to get detail. I'm worried about a little red button. Anywho, it's painted. And here we go, that same gray color as the rest of the cockpit. I believe it's like a dark gray or medium. One of the two, I can't remember. Looks like the dark. Hopefully I'm right. We'll find out later, right? Yes. Anyway, there it is. Just get the sides. Putting some Krystal Klear on these. That way when they dry, they kind of look like rear windows. Anyway, this is what's coming up next. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. As always, until next time, see ya.